Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the City of Tempe Housing Authority Board meeting. Item number 2 is called to the audience. The Housing Authority Board welcomes public comment at this time only for items listed on this agenda. There is a 3-minute time limit per speaker. Madam Clerk, are there any cards this evening for this meeting?
None received for this meeting.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll go ahead and close that portion of the meeting and move to item number 3, Housing Authority Governing Board updates. 3A is Housing Authority Governing Board quarterly update for the quarter ended March 31st, 2025. And I'd like to call upon Irma Hollenby Kane, our Deputy Human Services Director for Housing, for an update. Good evening.
Hi, good afternoon. Mayor Woods, Vice Mayor Garland, council members, Ms. Inchausti. I'm here on behalf of the Tempe Housing Authority. Our work in human services is related to your strategic priorities and associated performance measures as outlined on this slide. All right, so today I'm going to present highlights of the Tempe Housing Authority's 5-year plan, our annual plan, and our policy changes that we propose to make to our administrative plan. The plans have been out for public comment over the last 45 days, and on March 21st, we hosted a resident advisory board meeting of over 30 voucher holders, and we presented these materials and received excellent feedback and support. So by the way, HUD requires that a 5-year plan be completed and approved by our board, and to report on our progress each year in the form of an annual plan. And so let's go ahead and get into this. Over the next 5 years, the Tempe Housing Authority aims to build a thriving, inclusive, and resilient housing future. So that's our theme, and our theme reflects expansion and innovation in housing options and services, sustainability and modernization for long-term operational success, responsiveness and collaboration with our landlords, our voucher holders, and our community, and empowerment and growth for employees and other stakeholders. So for our first goal, expansion and innovation, our goal is to facilitate the expansion of a diversity of housing options so that families and individuals have a broad range of affordable housing options into the future. So key initiatives in this area includes expanding on our landlord promise programming and increasing and improving the landlord partnership experience by providing support and resources to address rental challenges, rent damages, and program dissatisfaction. We also hope to increase the utilization of project-based vouchers in our community, and this will support the development and preservation of high-quality, long-term, affordable rental units for low-income individuals, families, and special populations. Also, and this is one I'm really excited about, is exploring the feasibility of creating a home ownership program with using our vouchers. And as we all know, this provides pathways to long-term stability, wealth building, and community empowerment. Our second goal is focused on building organizational strength and modernizing our operations. And to do that, we aim to leverage our Housing Authority software features to streamline and improve the management and operation of key functions of the Tempe Housing Authority. We also aim to modernize landlord payments by encouraging the use of ACH payments to ensure efficient, timely, and secure payments. And finally, to overhaul the Tempe Housing Authority's web presence for improved user experience, mobile responsiveness, accessibility, and easy navigation. Our third goal, we are committed to addressing the emerging needs of our diverse stakeholders. That includes the public, applicants to our program participants, landlords, property managers, our funding partners, the list goes on. And we aim to do this with a helpful spirit, one with responsiveness, transparency, and collaboration. So key initiatives in this area include establishing a customer service pledge that establishes clear customer service expectations for staff and for our customers, and not to hide behind, but rather just to level set. Also to expand our housing navigation services to meet the dynamic housing needs of our participants through a multi-pronged service delivery approach that includes landlord supports, voucher supports, rental. And then finally, supporting our Tempe Housing Authority waitlist applicants and becoming housing ready while they are sitting on our waitlist. Often, folks sit on our waitlist for a couple of years, And when they're finally offered a housing voucher, they encounter many barriers that they could have perhaps addressed while they were waiting for a voucher. So for example, poor credit, justice involvement that could have been expunged, debts to previous landlords as a result of an eviction. So we hope to help folks while they're on our wait list with resources to address those things. And then finally, our last goal is focus on cultivating a workplace where employees know that they're valued, supported, and equipped to excel. So we would like to build on our culture of transparency, collaboration, and trust by promoting open communications, enhancing cross-departmental teamwork, and fostering a shared accountability. We also aim to address the pay equity and competitiveness with the market. And finally, to foster the potential of each of our housing team members, we aim to create pathways for leadership development, knowledge exchange, and visibility within our broader housing industry. So in addition to creating a strategic plan and associated objectives, we're also to report on the accomplishments over the last 5 years. And I, of course, am not going to read over the exhaustive list that's in your board report, but I would like to give you some of the highlights. So you've heard me up here over the last couple of years talking about how we endeavor to maximize our impact in the community. And well, through much grit and determination of the housing team, we did exactly that. When I first came on board, we were reporting that our reach was in the 70th percentile of utilization of our funds and our vouchers. And today we're reporting that upwards of 95% of our vouchers are used in our community. So we are maximizing our revenues and helping as many people as possible. We've also added capacity in the form of new and additional vouchers to include emergency housing vouchers, veterans supportive housing vouchers, and tenant-based rental assistance. And with respect to the tenant-based rental assistance, this is specifically for homeless families and individuals, folks that we've served in Tempe Works, or maybe they've had to stay with us at Suze Espacio. It's a 2-year rental assistance program, and it's dedicated, these folks have a dedicated housing specialist to help them resource coordinate, financial management, employment, educational assistance, and all of this is to help families and individuals get back on their feet in a pretty short period of time and become self-sufficient so that they can pay the rent once the voucher is up in 2 years. Small area FMRs. So beginning back in January, we transitioned to using small area fair market rents. This means that we're using 3 different payment standards in our city, and depending on the zip code, where someone is looking to lease up, the payment is the market rent for that particular zip code. This allows voucher holders the opportunity to move to higher opportunity neighborhoods that have maybe better schools, employment, access to transportation, maybe proximity to their doctors or their families. Of course, the City of Tempe City Council and with Councilmember Keating's leadership updated its anti-discrimination ordinance to protect renters from being discriminated against based on their income or their source of income, and that included housing vouchers. Landlord promise and security deposit assistance. I'm really proud of how well the Tempe Housing Authority comes alongside of its clients, both our voucher participants and our landlords. Over the last couple of years, we've refined our programming to remove barriers for both landlords and voucher holders to successfully participate in our programming. So to attract new landlords and to retain the ones that we have, the Tempe Housing Authority provides support such as damage claims assistance and networking and training events. For voucher holders, not having saved enough money for a security deposit once they've been offered a voucher has been their #1 barrier. And we figured out a way to be able to provide security deposits utilizing other HUD funds that we receive. And then finally, as you know, Tempe created the affiliate nonprofit, the Tempe Coalition for Affordable Housing, affectionately referred to as the affiliate. This organization operates and manages 70 units of permanently affordable income-based housing scattered throughout the city of Tempe. This portfolio consists of single-family homes, townhomes, and condos. And in addition, the affiliate purchased a vacant property to redevelop up to 40 units of affordable housing. And most of this is hometown for all. Any questions about what you've heard so far?
Thank you. Councilor Hodge? No? All good? Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, on to the annual plan. The annual plan consists of much of the same information that I've already shared with you, just far more detailed in the finances and progress of the year, and that also is included in your board packet. I would like to give you a little bit of specificity on a couple of important changes to our administrative plan, and this is a document that explains the rules and regulations of the Housing Choice Voucher Program as administered by the Tempe Housing Authority. So HUD is making changes to how to improve the Housing Choice Voucher Program administration. So these updates, part of what is called the Housing Opportunities Modernization Act, aim to simplify the way income is calculated, reduce paperwork, and make the overall process easier for both staff and families. The goal is to make housing assistance more efficient and accessible. We're still waiting on HUD to let us know when these changes will officially begin. And as soon as we have that information, I will bring that to you. But our administrative plan, our policy document already will accommodate these changes when we're ready. Another update involves the time allowed for housing with a voucher, or for a search for housing with a voucher. When someone joins the program or wants to move, they're given a voucher, which gives them time to find a new place to live. The initial voucher is valid for 60 days, and if they haven't found a unit in that time, which by the way, most people do find a unit within that time frame, they must submit a search log, which demonstrates that the effort that they have taken to find a unit. Extensions will be granted on 30-day increments up to 120 days maximum. And if a unit is not found by then, the voucher will be returned and offered to the next person on the wait list. We've also made changes to how we deal with voucher size changes. For example, if a family member moves out of a unit, and this will result in a voucher changing a 2-bedroom voucher to a 1-bedroom voucher, the Tempe Housing Authority will not downgrade the voucher to a smaller bedroom size until it is time for the family's recertification. And then finally, the Tempe Housing Authority has taken if the Housing Authority has taken all possible steps, but still doesn't have enough funding to make housing assistance payments for all of the people in our program. We've added a policy to explain how we may need to end some assistance under the Housing Choice Voucher Program or project-based voucher programs. If this difficult step becomes necessary, we would start with the most recently admitted participants, so the last one's in, the first one's out. However, veterans and our Veterans Assisted Supportive Housing Voucher Program, as well as those who are elderly or disabled individuals or households, they will be the least or the last impacted by this policy. And for further updates and other news, shortfall over the last several months, you have heard me reporting to you that we were in shortfall, or we were approaching shortfall, then we were in shortfall for a short period, meaning we were projected to spend more funds than we earned from HUD. And we were notified that we are officially off the risk radar. So we have adequately maneuvered through that scenario, and we're back in business. We've hired another heavy hitter onto the housing team, Jessica Gonzalez, retired from the city of Phoenix. She was the deputy director of neighborhood services over there, where she ran complex and comprehensive community development programming. We call ourselves lucky that she has taken on our neighborhood revitalization programming, where she'll be breathing new life into our emergency home repair programming and hopefully a new green housing rehabilitation program. And finally, I'm pleased to announce that the Tempe Housing Authority will host a landlord mixer next Wednesday, April 16th. The event will focus on program features, updates, and building and strengthening relationships with our landlord partners. The event last year was very well attended and quite successful, and we hope you will join us. Any questions about what I've said so far?
Thank you, Irma. Appreciate the presentation. Board Member Hodge.
Thank you so much for the presentation. You know, this is probably one of my favorite parts for me. 90% voucher use in our community. That is a phenomenal number. And I contribute a lot of that to you. So thank you so much for hard work you've done, especially when it comes to our lower income, our vets, our seniors, you know, our most vulnerable population. And this is what Tempe is embedded into. So on that, I just have one quick question. I see that we're talking about HUD Is there anything that we need to be looking on the horizon for any of the federal funding when it comes around HUD and our voucher system?
Thank you, Councilmember Hodge. Council members, the answer is I don't know. We're in a holding pattern. The information that we've received is, as you know, the continuing resolution was passed by Congress. Our funding has remained stable. And so for all appearances, the program is stable. And unless until we hear otherwise, that's the beat of the drum I'm marching to.
Sounds good. Thank you. Board Member Amberg?
Mr. Mayor, thank you. So fantastic presentation. You always do so well. Your poise is just fantastic, and I'm super excited about Jessica joining. I don't know her, but she sounds fantastic, so congratulations on that. I do have one question. When you were talking about downsizing the new policy, if you were to go from a 3-bedroom to a 2-bedroom because of somebody aged out, what if they can't find a 2-bedroom? Like, what happens at that point?
Thank you, Councilmember Amberg. Council members, so what I'm specifically talking about is if in a household's voucher size is dependent on the number of people in the household. And if someone in the household moves out and it affects the voucher size that the family is issued, they're given until their recertification time to then begin looking for another unit, where they will be issued another voucher to go find a unit of appropriate size, unless they can already afford to pay a little bit more rent and stay in the unit. And that's actually what a lot of people do. Now, if someone has to find a 1-bedroom unit because they're being downgraded from a 2 and they're having difficulties, we do have housing navigation services that we provide where we help our members, our participants, and even the general public find an appropriate unit in our community.
Sounds good. Vice Chair Garland.
I absolutely love the work you're doing. I think I say this to you every single time. I'm so lucky that you're here working with the city of Tempe, because I think you've made some huge changes and strides toward doing whatever we can to help people in our community even more than we did before. So thank you for what you're doing. I just want to say I love the home ownership programming. One of the things that we always seem to be talking about rental apartments. We need more home ownership. So the fact that you've added that in there and that's part of the program, I love that idea. And we think we need to find more ways for our residents to have a home ownership. I think about Newtown Community Land Trust and what they're doing, and I like the fact that we're being a part of this also. So thank you. And I want to say, I appreciate the fact that you're not only just working within the city of Tempe, but you guys are also, you or Christopher, are going whatever we can do at the state level. But the fact that you guys are going, was it the National Association of Housing group for the United States, but going to Washington, D.C. to advocate for more money and funding for these programs that we need. So thank you so much for doing that. I really appreciate all the work you're doing and making a difference in people's lives. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other board members, any further comments or questions? All right, thank you. That item was only for information and update only, so no action is required, which will move me to item number 4.
Hold on.
Oh, yes.
I just wanted to say, and then on behalf of the Tempe Coalition for Affordable Housing, in your board materials is the coalition's most recent board packet. If you review it and you have any questions, please give me a call.
Wonderful. Thank you. Appreciate it. Absolutely. All right, let's see that. I'm going to move forward to item number 4 here, Housing Authority Governing Board action items. The only item under this section is 4A, which is to adopt a resolution to appoint Callie Moss, an eligible resident, as the resident member of the City of Tempe Housing Authority Governing Board. Let's see, and I believe she's right there. How are you? Good. All right, let's see here. Do I have a motion?
So move.
It's been moved by Vice Chair Garland and seconded by Board Member Hodge. Please vote.
I'm council, or mayor.
Okay, I'm going to take a voice vote here. Board Member Hodge?
Aye.
Board Member Adams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Garland?
Aye.
Board Member Chin? Aye. Board Member Amberg? Aye. And I vote aye as well. That vote carries 7-0, with new Board Member Moss being appointed at this point. So congratulations. Thank you so much for joining us. And let me just make sure too, am I pronouncing your name as Callie, is that correct? Wonderful, so wanted to make sure, we're gonna have a relationship up here, I wanna make sure I get the name proper, so. All right. With that said, we're gonna move forward to item number 5A, hold a public hearing to obtain resident comment pursuant to federal law and adopt a resolution to approve the Public Housing Agency 5-year plan, annual plan, and related certifications for the Housing Choice Voucher Program funded through the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development. The resolution also approves revisions to the Tempe Housing Agency Administrative Plan policies effective immediately and acceptance of additional housing choice vouchers that may become available from HUD. Were there any comments, Madam Clerk, received from the public regarding this item?
None for this hearing item. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good. I should also see, too, if there's anyone in the audience, this is a public hearing item, who wishes to address the council on item 5A, or I should say the board. Is there anyone else? Please get my attention. All right, hearing none, I will close the public testimony portion of that public hearing. Let's go forward. Council members, any comments or discussions?
So move.
Second.
Okay, sorry, I could not hear because there are 4 people talking here. All right. Okay, I'm going to say moved by Vice Chair Garland and seconded by Board Member Hodge, I believe. Please vote.
Aye, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, and that vote carries. Let's see here. I'll do a voice vote, actually. Board Member Moss?
Aye.
Okay, and that vote carries 7-0 with Board Member Keating absent. All right, that moves us to item number 6 here, which is approval of City of Tempe Housing Authority meeting minutes. And for the remainder of this, I'm just going to simply do a voice vote around the table, just to make it a little bit easier. So all we have here are the minutes for item 6A, January 23rd, 2025. Do I have a motion from any board member?
Motion to approve.
It's been moved by Board Member Adams and seconded by Board Member Hodge. Any other further comments or questions? Hearing none. Board Member Hodge, how do you vote? Aye. Board Member Adams?
Aye.
Vice Chair Garland? Aye. Board Member Chin? Aye. Board Member Amberg? Aye. Board Member Moss?
Aye.
And I vote aye as well. That item also passes 7-0 with Board Member Keating absent. That moves me to item number 7, which is adjournment. The next Tempe housing meeting is actually yet to be determined. So you'll hear more about that in the future as to what that next date will be. With that said, we are adjourned at 5:55 p.m. We will be promptly back here at 6 p.m. to start the regular council meeting. Thank you.